I'll be the first to admit, I did not see this coming. Dear diamonds and fellow diamonds in rough. Today, I do want to be sharing my findings from what I've observed for months being on the sidelines of the gacha space and trying to make sense and understand how things work and why they work. I think I finally found a respectable answer as to why this is happening. One that actually finally made sense to me. Now, I'm gonna try and keep this as civil as possible. And if you misunderstand a well-mannered good conversation with me pulling my punches on something, etc., etc.
Man, shut your Baba Booey.
Stop trying to punk people. You're not cold. Hush. Sit down. Let's talk. Like grown-ups, like adults.
Okay.
So why is this happening? What is the thing that are people fighting about? Well, it turns out it's the 2.5 story quest. I would say rightfully so, because the 2.5 story quest definitely revolutionized how we see Wuthering Waves as a product. It's no longer just good gameplay and that's it. I'm here to see my characters fly around, do cool stuff and leave. No, now there's actual substance, and I have people like me actually looking forward to the next entries of the story. And it was a very exciting time for me to see people nerd out, because we tend to forget that this is what this space is for. We're supposed to be nerding our asses out to this stuff, to the stuff we do, because ultimately, well, we're kind of nerdy as to why we play this. Like, you're a nerd, I'm a nerd, we're all nerding out. This is a space for us to let the nerd out, and I'm finally seeing nerding out. Someone like Gacha Smack, a father of two, grown-ass fucking man, freaking sitting here telling me about all these complicated terms that I don't even know what 90% of them even mean. He's over there dissecting the story like a goddamn nerd. I have people like Legions Gaming and Marco Meatball, grown-ass freaking men, tearing and crying their eyes out because of how emotionally impactful the story was. We had a whole podcast of amazing creators sharing their perspectives and opinions about the storytelling, the story, how it was constructed. It was a beautiful, beautiful, exciting time for me. I was very, very happy with the effect the 2.5 story quest had on the community, as it had on myself. Once I sat down and started eating the 2.5 story quest, I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm being hit with right now, but all I know is my ass is glued to the seats. I cannot get up. So how does one take something so exciting and something so revolutionary in their favorite game and turn it into a chaotic, immature mess? Well, that has to do, of course, with I believe is the causality of all this, and that is, of course, let me phrase it right, the need for internet validation. For a few months now, I have observed that there's some form of moral high ground being taken because of someone having the more popular opinion about a video game. This is all happening because of people's opinion about a video game. Let's keep that in mind as we proceed. This is the disclaimer of this channel. Keep that in mind as we proceed, please. Yeah, I know. I don't know what to tell you too, man. I
thought everything was cool. I didn't know that about it.
And if this doesn't scream to you first world problems or bad form of escapism, I don't know what does. And hence why I used earlier the term immature, because people unfortunately tend to forget where we are. Actually, they forget their environment, they forget where we are. And that's the problem I've noticed as to why this is the causality of it all, is because people tend to forget that in the end, you're just the king of nerds. Yes, you are a king, but you're still the king of nerds. You're just a cock on top of his pile of manure. Yes, you're held up high, but I mean, you're just standing on manure, man. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, it's not the achievement. Like, it's great that you got recognition online for people applauding your opinion or clowning on someone else more dangerously. That's what I've been observing a lot too. People actively looking for someone to clown on. It's like, haha, look at this clown and what he thinks about our video game. And then you have a lot of people come in and go, ha ha ha, yeah, you're right, look at him, he doesn't think like us, what a loser, right? And you get that dose of validation, and once you have that taste of the nectar, of the syrup, you can no longer stop. You get addicted to that stuff. Some of you guys are not ready for the impact that validation creates, and all of a sudden you're crazy about it, and you're like, okay, I need to start getting me more and more of this, because now me as a person is linked to me getting all this validation from all these people through opinions about a video game. People tend to forget the plot. They don't care necessarily about the video game on itself. They care about getting that moral high ground, getting that dose of validation, getting that form of recognition that they lack in real life, in their social lives. That is what I believe is not only the causality of it all, but also why it keeps on happening and happening. There's something even deeper and way worse than just a simplification of, oh, it's just people being passionate about their video game, because that's what I thought too as well. But passion has a limit, and I think we're way past that threshold. And the only way this would make sense to me personally is if it's something personal to them, something beyond passion. Now, I want you to recognize that I could be way off base when it comes to what I just said. I could be way off, but unfortunately, don't think I am. From what I've observed from a lot of people in my life, living through others, and what I've seen online in multiple communities, this has just taken shape in the way we've seen it here in the gacha space. Other communities, I've seen it take form of I beat you in a card game, a children's card game, therefore I'm better than you, therefore I'm your superior. It's taken many shapes and sizes. People are not fulfilled and not complete in their lives, and so they need some form of gratification and validation through something else, and they find it through this. Some people like to climb ranks so that they can talk shit online and flex. Some people like to get too well on characters so they can flex on others so that they can feel better about themselves. And we have now this where people talk shit online and clown on others so that they can feel better about themselves. That's my theory. I don't think I'm wrong about this, but I could be. And I'm open to discussion in the comments below. Now, I've seen some thoughts being brought up in the conversation of all this that I found interesting and that I do want to try and shed more light on, right? No one asked me, of course, but I'm going to be answering them anyway and giving my opinion on them anyway. A wholly self-insert, but hey, here we are. Now, the first one here I have is Tectone is always blamed for everything. This is what I found very interesting and had prompted me to want to make this video. Shout out to Tectone for this, by the way. Gave me a lot of source material to brainstorm. Tectone is always blamed for everything happening in the gacha space. I found very interesting. Why? Is because why is that indeed occurring? Like, what is the causality? I believe it says something as simple as Tectone is number one in the gacha space. He's the only, well, for now, I think a shift is happening before our eyes. Shout out to Brand Online, by the way. I'm very inspired through Brand Online. Tectone was one. Brand Online is two. Holy inspiration. Shouts out to you boys. I can't wait to get in the saddle with you guys as well. And due to the fact that he is this high-ranking creator, highest-ranking creator in the gacha space, can you get a bigger high than that? That's the ultimate high. I gotta get me some of that. That's the ultimate syrup. I need me some of that, man. Are you nuts? If we're gonna do this shit to people that just pulled up, what, a year now? Like Saint Tontas, going after him day in and day out. You really think you're gonna escape? You who's racking up the bigger numbers? Didn't he always say that low-hanging fruit? You're the low-hanging fruit. You really think they're not gonna try and grab the low-hanging fruit that tastes superb? Have you seen how much people's engagement gotten through this drama that's been occurring? Of course they're gonna do that. Of course they're gonna blame you for that. They don't even believe it, but it feels good to be validated. I'm pretty sure most of them don't even believe that shit. They're not that stupid. I refuse to believe 80% of those are that stupid. I refuse to believe. I think that's deliberate. I think people act like that because they know they can get some syrup. I do. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I think generalizing idiocy like that is doing us a disfavor. I think they know what the fuck they're doing. They do it anyway deliberately because they have other agendas in mind. Speaking of Saint Tontas, I also have an explanation as to why he's so controversial to many. I want to add him with Genazad and why he all of a sudden is controversial to many. And that is simply when you exhibit too much confidence and ego. The moment you do that, people are very quick to hate and are very quick to try and smack you down. That's something I've observed in multiple spaces, in life, in society. This is a rule. You know it, I know it, we all know it, except the people that don't socialize as much, which is understandable. But if you know anything about socializing, that's an unwritten rule. If you exhibit too much aura, people will try and smack you down. That's just the way it is. Why? Oh, it's because you are doing something they wish they could, but they can't. So they kind of have to shut it down. And unfortunately, it does put a target on your back. I would say it's kind of uncomfortable as a way of life, but then again, it's not my life, so what the fuck do I know? But from my experience, it's kind of more of a nuisance than something to be like, you know what I'm saying? I want to keep owning up to this. It's truly more of a nuisance, especially if you're not a rapper. I think if you're a rapper, that's fine, but most y'all are not. So just a piece of advice: be careful, be mindful of that. That's mainly the reason why people are gonna try and keep doing what they're doing. But then again, if you can monetize that, you don't have to be a rapper, but you can still keep, you know, getting the juice despite the squeeze. If it's worth it, hey, drink you that syrup. Hey, it's all about that syrup in the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the syrup. It takes many shapes and sizes, but in the end, it's all about that syrup. There's always gonna have to be a reward for all our troubles. That's just how we are. It's how we are as people. And yeah, that's, in my opinion, how all of this mess makes sense. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.